Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me for the Prayerful Pause with the Pastor. Some time to think of some things greater than ourselves. I've been hearing the phrase, well, usually in a negative context. Well, I don't know that it's negative. It's associated with something negative because there's something happening that causes this phrase to be said. But by doing what this phrase says, you can save lives. And the phrase is shelter in place or sheltering in place. Many of you around the country have community emergency response teams, CERT teams. I was the founder and leader of the CERT team for Southeast Rochester many, many years ago and went through the training with the fire department. Boy, I've forgotten how many months. I think it was it 12 weeks or 16? I think it was 16 weeks. Anyway, it was pretty intense. And so I have great respect for the advanced planning that causes people to shelter in place. And so I see it as a very positive thing, though usually it always comes about because of either some natural disaster or, active shooters, those kinds of things. But I want to talk about it in terms of our spiritual lives. Sheltering in place. Not a good thing, necessarily. Not a good thing if we shelter in place as a means of not growing, not challenging ourselves. Oh, don't tell me that. I just want to believe what I want to believe. Oh, don't make me look at that. Oh, I just want to hold on to this old belief that I had. What do you mean? Don't challenge me that way. That kind of sheltering in place is not good for us because it doesn't stretch our spiritual muscles at all. It allows them to atrophy when we just stay kind of coiled up in our own little world, and that's not what God ever intended. We see that in the Old and New Testament. God is constantly pushing us. I think about Jacob wrestling with God. That's what we're supposed to do: wrestle with our faith, wrestle with God. On the other hand, the shelter of our faith, sheltering in place with our faith, can also be a very, very good thing. If we are being bombarded, all this stuff is coming at us all the time, and it's just like, ugh, then finding shelter in the arms of our God, that's a good thing. So I guess the question really is, in which context are we sheltering in place? Are we sheltering? I think we're sheltering if we're not actively growing and moving and changing and developing and evolving. So that means that we have to look at the motive and the intent behind our sheltering in place. Is it to hide from? Or is it to find security in? Two different things. So, question number 1 for you today is, are you sheltering in place or are you actively growing and engaging your faith? And the second question is, if you are sheltering in place, do you know why? Because if it's for a good reason, if you need to heal and you're like pulling the robe of Jesus around you, that's all I can think of, just that sometimes I just want him to wrap me in his arms so I can feel his robe against my cheek and I can feel it enveloping me. That's a very, very good thing. That comfort, that assurance, that's where a lot of the healing takes place. So that sheltering in place is a good thing. If we are sheltering in place and holding on to the old values that we had or old teachings that we had because I'm not scared, maybe scared. We just don't want to have to deal with updating them and thinking about, do they still apply? Do I feel this way? We don't. If we're avoiding the work of our spirituality by sheltering in place, that's not good. So first off, are you sheltering or are you actively engaging? Secondly, why are you sheltering? Which of those two means are you using in order to shelter? Something to think about for today. I hope you have a great day. I'm Pastor Deb Swift of both South and Downtown Presbyterian Churches in Rochester, New York. I look forward to seeing you next time. But until then, think about it today. What are you doing spiritually? Are you actively engaged? Are you sheltering in place? If you're sheltering in place, is it done because you need some healing and you're going there for comfort and safety? Or are you sheltering in place as an escape so you don't have to deal with stuff today? Because if it's that last thing, boot yourself out of there and go ahead and engage in the questioning and the redefinitions maybe of whatever's going on, so that you can use that to propel you forward with your own spiritual life. Okay? Thanks, everybody. God bless. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe today. All right? See you next time. Bye for now.